Hey, what's up, cats and kittens? And shout out to all my cerebral lights. It is me, the Cerebral Diva, and guess what? She's back with another episode of RealiTEA, and that's TEA because I give it to you scalding hot. So grab your cups, grab your saucers, gather around, and let's all partake in this libation of Bachelorette / Bachelor in Paradise tea. But before you go another further, do yourself a favor, and while you're at it, do me a solid. Take a second to hit that subscribe button, and after you've done that, take another second to hit that tiny little bell so you can turn on your alerts, and that way you will be kept in the loop. Now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, let's dive right into this drama of Bachelor in Paradise tea. Now, it's a mess going on over at ABC, and to be completely honest with you guys, I think that when I hear this story about what's happening between Demario and Corinne Olympios, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. I think she's Greek. Olympios sounds like a Greek name, right? I'll tell you guys exactly what I think happened here. So this is what I think happened. I think that they're in sort of this incubator of sex and debauchery, right? You have all of these drinks flowing, and people are scantily clad in bikinis and shirtless men, and it's a very sort of hypersexualized environment. And who amongst us is above being being put in the mood, so to speak. And you have the drinks going. Now, I'm not a drinker, so I can never blame it on the alcohol because I don't drink. So unfortunately, I don't have that as a crutch. So I think that they're put into this environment, this controlled environment. They're drinking, and things get a little heated between Corinne and Demario, and this is based on the accounts from other people who participated in the show. And the two of them take it further than probably she wanted to after she realized she had gone too far to go back. And so I think that, and this happens, it happens a lot sometimes with women and with men, but more so with women, where you find yourself in a situation with someone, you go further than you think that you go further than you want it to go, and then after it's all said and done, you say, "Damn, why did I do that?" It certainly happened to me in my own life. So who am I to judge? But I think the thing that happened in Corinne's particular situation is that not only did that happen to her, where she had these sort of post-orgasmic regrets, I think that it's exacerbated when it happens on national TV, and you realize that, oh my gosh, my mom's going to see this, my dad's going to see this, my brother's going to see this, my coworker's going to see this, I'm going to be judged and scrutinized, and who knows what type of, just because you see, and look, we're going to talk race for a second here, so if you're a person who gets turned off by race, then you might want to leave right now, but we're going to talk about race. Who knows what type of background she comes from. So she may be very open to black men, or very, very involved with black men, but her family may not be a family that approves of this, because very often you have people who are involved in interracial relationships where they've sort of crossed the threshold over into the realm of interracial relationships, but their families have not made that cross with them. So she gets involved into this physical relationship, or this sexual occurrence with Demario, and then she starts having sort of this crisis of conscience, and she begins to think to herself, okay, how can I best mitigate or ameliorate the situation to not make myself look as bad as I'm possibly going to look to the people that I care about. So I know what I'll do. I'll say that I was too drunk to consent, or too drunk to realize what happened, or I forgot what happened. I don't remember it. And that's going to be my story, so that when people are judging me, I'll have that as a crutch to fall back on. Now, I don't know if that's what happened. I'm giving you guys my take on what could have potentially happened. But the problem here for me is, if she's aware of what happened, and based on the accounts of other people who were on the show, she was very well aware of what was happening. She was completely lucid. And by some accounts, she was actually the aggressor towards Demario. If that's the case, as a woman, it's frustrating, because I feel like when women do this, it really does a disservice to other women who are actually who've actually experienced sexual assault, and know that sometimes the sexual assault is just part of the process. It's the part of trying to prove and getting people to understand that you're being honest and forthright about the experience or the occurrence that happened, but because it's your word against his word, you don't really have a lot of people who believe or support you. I watched a really good documentary a few weeks ago about two girls on it's on Netflix. There was two girls. One girl's name was Daisy. I can't remember the exact name of the documentary, but it's a great documentary. I'll try to link it below for you guys. And in this documentary, the girl was basically enticed out of her home by a bunch of high school age guys. I think a couple were older. And they got her drunk, and they basically took advantage of her sexually. You know, they got her inebriated to the point of unconsciousness and took advantage of her. And essentially, the whole town turned against her. And, you know, she, since that happened to her, she's had a lot of trouble with trying to, you know, just readjust and reacclimate to life in general. And so when I hear stories about people who use rape or sexual assault as a tool to mitigate their own bad judgment, then it's a little frustrating to me, because I feel like it really hurts and harms those who experience it in a real way. So back to Demario and back to Corinne. Now, in this particular situation, to be completely honest with you guys, I don't think Demario is at fault. I don't think Corinne's at fault. I think the true culprit is ABC. I think ABC creates and facilitates these environments because they're trying to make good television, and they're doing so sometimes at the well-being of the people that are involved. They don't really care about Corinne. They don't really care about Demario. At the end of the day, for them, this is a television show. This is a way to make money. And Corinne and Demario are both pawns in that process. And I think that if anyone is to learn a lesson from this, maybe it's ABC. And I'm not going to say maybe, it's definitely ABC, because, you know, they're putting this alcohol in there because they want people to be loose. They want to make good TV. And unfortunately, sometimes it can go too far. Now, I'll say this. I don't think Demario raped her. Demario he's actually asking for this tape to be released. You know, he wants people to see. He wants to clear his name. To me, that's not the sign of a guilty man. He wants people to see exactly what happened. Now, I'm sure Corinne doesn't want this to be seen, because if I were her, I certainly wouldn't want it to be seen. But I do think that if she's seen the tape and she sees what happened, then she needs to let this go and make it go away. Because at the end of the day, you have to be, if you're responsible enough to drink alcohol, you have to be responsible enough to be accountable for the actions that you do under the influence of alcohol. And, you know, if I'm drunk and I get behind a car and I go out and kill someone, I'm still going to jail. I can't say, oh, I can't be T-Pain and blame it on the alcohol. It was still my choice, my actions that led to the ultimate demise of another human being. So I don't think that if she sees, I think she should watch the tape, you know, and maybe that will jog her memory of exactly what happened. And once it does, if she has any sort of grievances, I think that she needs to take those up with ABC and not necessarily with Demario. So anyhow, you guys, that's my take on the situation. I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say. So please make sure that you comment below. And while you're commenting, make sure you like, subscribe, and share if you feel so inclined. Also, remember to follow me across all social media platforms as Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And remember, it's better to be pissed off than to be pissed on. And as always, in closing, remember to live better, love harder, and think smarter. It is me, the Cerebral Diva, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.